continue our discussion, my dear students, we go now to saccharides. Saccharides are the anions and salts of sweetener saccharin. We have sodium saccharin and denatonium saccharin. So denatonium saccharide, differ from sodium saccharide because denatonium saccharide, based on structures, it contains quaternary ammonium compound, or known as NH4. So the smallest monosaccharides are composed of 3 carbon atom. We have the dihydroxyacetone, the dextro and levoglyceraldehyde. Actually, these two compounds of sugars or monosaccharides are isomer to each other, or stereoisomers. So saccharin is sometimes used to replace sugar. So these are artificial sweeteners. Stevia extracts like ribadioside A are found to be 300 times sweeter than sugar. So stevia, stevia extract is coming also from the stevia plant. These are example of the structure of the dextroglyceraldehyde and dihydroxyacetone. So they are stereoisomers, and there are at least 2 chiral carbon atom that is present. So carbon number 1, carbon number 2. So stereoisomers of carbohydrates. Writing the formula of monosaccharides, the spatial arrangement of hydrogen and hydroxyl ions groups are important since they contain asymmetric carbon atom. Meaning the spatial, that is the arrangement or the space between the attachment of the hydroxyl and hydrogen atom. So usually the asymmetric carbon is found at the center. So the number of possible stereoisomers depends on the number of asymmetric carbon atoms by the formula 2n, wherein it is the number of the asymmetric carbon atom. So stereoisomers, meaning two compounds that are considered by isomers, depends on the asymmetric carbon that is present in the structure. So D and L isomerism of glucose. So with a reference to penultimate carbon atom, the configuration of hydrogen and hydroxyl group is changed and 2 mirror images are produced. Usually when we say penultimate, it is a carbon atom that is found at the second or the last carbon atom. Second to the last carbon atom. So if we have here 2 structures, so you can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4, that is the second carbon atom. And another one, this is fructose, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is the penultimate carbon. It may be noted that the dextro and levo varieties, the groups in second, third, fourth, and fifth carbon atoms are totally reversed as to produce different mirror images. So a glucose, is one of the common D sugars. So the reverse of the different carbon atoms will result to the different monosaccharides or structures of monosaccharides. D sugars are naturally occurring sugars. Body can be metabolized only D sugars or dextrose sugars. Because say dextrose sugars, that is the based on the standard rotation, okay, from left to right. Okay, so this is considered to be stereoisomers and D-glucose. So if you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so 2, 3, 4, 5 are being reversed, and then it will lead to the L-glucose, or the rotation of that center carbon atom, or the chiral carbon atom, is to the left based on the molecular weight of the different ions or molecules that attach to the center carbon atom. Okay. So we have sugars, the importance. So D-glucose, this is known to a blood sugar or main source of energy, because glucose is broken down in the process of glycolysis, which lead to the utilization or generation in the form of adenosine triphosphate, or ATP. You have D-fructose, the constituents of sucrose, the common sugar, or the sweetest of all sugar is the fructose. Galactose, it is the constituents of your lactose, because lactose is composed of glucose plus galactose. You have glycolipids. Glycolipids is glucose plus lipids, which transport also fats or lipids. Glycoproteins plays the important role in transport of proteins. You have D-mannose, constituents of globulins or protein, mucoproteins, and glycoproteins. So mucoproteins are usually found at the mucous membranes. For example, one example is the mucin. Next, optical activity. The presence of asymmetrical carbon atoms causes optical activity. So it is based on the mirror images, or it is based on the beam of plain polarized light passes through the solution of carbohydrates. It will either rotate either to the left or right. So with the use of the instrument or apparatus known as polarimeter. So D-glucose are dextrorotatory, but D-fructose is levorotatory. Usually D-fructose is coming from the word levulose, but actually it is levorotatory, based on the structure.